All right, had a question on how a clutch brake operates and what it's for. And if you're getting your CDL license and you got to take a road test with a heavy rig, or you've been hoping to get behind the wheel and you want to know how it operates, hopefully this will help. All right, if you've driven a regular stick shift, you know that if you're in neutral at a light, sitting there, all of a sudden the light turns green, you want to put it in first gear, the only thing you got to do is step on the clutch and put it in gear. There's really nothing to it. Now all of a sudden you get behind the wheel of these heavy rigs with these double clutch transmissions, and you go to put it in gear, and all of a sudden there's grinding and there's gear clash going on. And maybe you've even heard it before. You're at a light, the guy's driving a truck, he's looking down, doing whatever. All of a sudden he sees the light turns green, he quickly goes to put it in gear, and you hear grinding. And the reason why you're hearing those gears clash is because there's no synchros in these transmissions. You got the engine turning at idle speed, and on the counter shaft you got some gears in the transmission spinning at another speed. You go to put it in gear and they're clashing. So what Eaton Fuller did is they put a clutch braking system inside these transmissions, which stops the transmissions from spinning, so you can eventually mate the two together without having a grind. Because obviously when you step on the clutch, you're separating the power from the drivetrain and the engine. So how this works is, let's say you're at a light, engine's running at about, let's say, 800 RPM, whatever, 600 RPM. You push the clutch pedal all the way to the floor. That's going to engage the clutch braking system. Then it's going to stop the gears in the transmission. Then you go to put your transmission into gear. And then you slowly come off the clutch and progress through your shifts just like you normally would. So in this truck here, we got a 9-speed Eaton Fuller Roadranger. This is a 2002 International. It's a DOT truck. Been driving this one for a while. And what I'm going to do is start up, just give you a briefing on it, show you how to use it. I also would like to just give a briefing on how to roll into gear. You know, you don't have to use the clutch brake every time. You know, you're coming up to a light. You could slowly roll into gear, sneak it in gear, hold it in, wait, and when the light turns green, you can take off. But first, let's go over using the clutch brakes. Let's start this guy up. This has some Cummins in it. Okay. So here's what we'll do. Ready? Engine's running. My foot's off the clutch. Now you got the engine idling, the transmission spinning at a slower speed. So what we'll do is push the clutch all the way to the floor. Now I'm pushing it on the gear. Now it's not quite going in all the way. Why? Because the two teeth in the transmission are hitting like this. Remember, the transmission stops spinning and they hit like this. Sometimes it doesn't always go into the teeth and mesh. Sometimes they hit tooth to tooth. When that happens, push up on the gear shifter to the gear you want. Slowly come off the clutch. Boom, there she is. She's in gear. So let's do it again. I'm going to put it in neutral. Now I'm releasing my foot off the clutch. Now the engine and transmission, okay, are spinning. Now I'm ready to take off. Now if I don't use the clutch brake, here's what happens. You don't want to do that, especially on a road test. You don't want to have the road test instructor hear you grinding gears before you even get started. And plus, you know, you want to take care of your truck. You know, you're harder on your transmission, it's not going to shift as well. Take good care of your transmission. So let's see how we use the clutch brake. Push all the way to the floor. Let the clutch brake stop. There's a disc in there that actually comes to a halt, almost like a braking system on a car or a light truck, whatever. Push the gear shifter up. Okay, it's hitting tooth to tooth again. Just let up a little bit. Boom, now she's in gear. Let's take off. Let's do a couple of gears. So let's say I come up here. Now let's say this is a stop sign. I stop. Alright, I'm in neutral. Okay, now I want to take off again. Remember, we don't want to clash the gears like that. Push all the way down. Let the transmission stop. Okay, my foot's all the way on the clutch. I'm pushing it on the gear shifter. Now I come up a little bit. She falls right into gear. Now let's do the roll-in. I call it the roll-in, whatever. Guys that have been driving trucks for years don't have a name for it. They just do it all the time. Instead of coming to a complete stop and then having to use the clutch brake to get it in gear, while I'm rolling, I'm going to let the idle of the engine match the transmission and road speed, and then it'll fall on the gear without having to use the clutch brakes. Let's take a look at that. Let's go second, go third, low fourth. Heck, I'll even go to high range. Why not, right? Got all day. All right, so now we'll slow down. I see let's say I got a light up ahead, slow down, go into low range. Now I'm just rolling ever so slowly. Boom, I just matched it into gear. Now she's already in gear, I can just release the clutch, wait for my light to turn green, and now I can take off without using the clutch brake. I matched the speeds as it was rolling. We'll do that again. I'm going to stop at 4th. Alright, now there's a stop sign, a light, or whatever. This time I'm going to roll into 3rd. Just wait till it gets to the right speed, boom, it's in. Even if I have to stop, I can stop like this, and I can take off. That's pretty much it. That's how the clutch brake works. Any questions, feel free to leave something, leave a comment, whatever. Like I said, you know, you get into a road test situation, you get the instructor sitting next to you, you don't want to start your road test like this. That's not a good idea. They don't want to see you clashing the gears on the transmission. Push the clutch pedal all the way to the floor. Push it up, come up the clutch a little, she'll fall right in like you saw. Again, you want to do the roll up. Let's catch a couple of gears. I'm going to skip to 5th, or 6th for that matter. Going downhill so I can skip. This is a 9-speed. Alright, so I put it in low. I'm rolling, just try to feel it out, match it. Boom, I'm in gear, I don't have to use the clutch brake, I'm already in gear. Light turns green, I can just go. So that's how your clutch brake works. Well, that's rolling into gear, but your clutch brake, let's say I needed the clutch brake. Those were roll-ins, let's say I use the clutch brake. Stop completely, I'm at idle, I'm in neutral, engine's obviously running, my foot's off the clutch, I'm ready to go. All the way down to the floor, let the transmission stop. Remember, there's a disc in there that's going to stop the transmission from moving. Push it up, let it fall into gear. Now, you cannot use the clutch brake while the truck is moving. You will burn it right out. The clutch brake is only for the truck is at a complete stop. Remember, clutch brake is only when the truck's at a complete stop, and you don't always have to use a clutch brake. I see a red light up here, I could use the roll-in. Boom, I'm in gear. So now say the light turns green right now, I don't have to use my clutch brake, I'm already in gear. When I rolled up, I let it fall in, match the speeds. These Roadranger transmissions are all about matching speeds. Whenever you hear these things grind, it's because something's wrong. You're not matching the speeds, something's moving that shouldn't be moving. As a driver, it's your job to figure it out. So now here I'm actually at a light. Instead of using the clutch brake, I'm going to do a little roll in, and bring it right there, boom, I'm in gear. Okay, now here's the clutch brake. Ready? Clutch brake. All the way down, let the transmission stop. Okay, the 2 teeth are hitting. Remember, there you go, just let up on the clutch, it falls right in. That's how it works, man. So, happy trucking, go get them. Shift some gears, and use your clutch brake when you need it. Just don't use it when you're rolling. And there's plenty of times where you could just use the roll up, just sneak it in the gear that way. But that's it. It's there to help you, the driver. Years ago, trucks didn't even have clutch brakes. It's a nice little add-on. Well, I'm heading back to the yard. If you're heading to your road test, good luck. God bless. Enjoy.